Hey guys, welcome back. On today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at magic actions inside Livewire. So first of all, what are these magic actions? These are basically a set of actions you can add on your blade file for your Livewire blade files. And it allows you to do basically very common tasks that you do basically on every single component without having to define some custom methods. So what are these exactly? Okay, so I'm referring to the documentation because I think it's quite important for you guys to take a look at it. I will also have the link in the description. Just open up the Livewire documentation, make sure you are on version 3. And at the top, just search for magic, and it should be the first thing that comes up. So as of now, there are the following magic items. There is the .parent, and it allows you to access the parent component of if you have nested components. I'm not going to be using this one yet. I will have it on a separate video when we're covering child components. Then there is set. It allows you to set a value of a property. There is a refresh. It basically reloads your component or re-renders it. There is toggle, and it allows you to basically toggle a Boolean value. And then there is a dispatch. Okay, so dispatch allows you to dispatch an event from your blade files instead of doing it from, basically a method inside your PHP file. Okay, so it's kind of a convenient way to quickly dispatch events. And then there is this $event, basically gives you the JavaScript event that was triggered. Okay, so this one is gonna be, I'm not gonna be covering it. So today we're gonna be basically focusing on refresh, toggle, as well as set. Okay, and I believe I already covered dispatch on the event video, so I'm not gonna be covering it. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example, guys. So for today's video, I have the project that I'm using on my blog course. It's a free course on YouTube. You guys can go check it out. But basically on this one, I have two buttons at the top right, which is basically used for sorting, and then I have a refresh button, and we're going to use these magic actions that we just learned about to implement these. So first, let's start off by actually implementing the refresh one because it's the easiest magic action to use. Okay, so I have this refresh button over here, and let me show you guys my blade file. So this is my refresh button. Okay, so I have an SVG icon, that's why it's a bit hard to see what is going on, but this button is basically this reload button over here. Okay, so that's the HTML for it. So what we are going to do, guys, is we're going to do wire click. And of course, what we want to do is when we press this button, we would like to reload or refresh our component. So in order to do it, we can go ahead and use the refresh magic action. And you use magic actions usually with a $, and then followed with the name it has. Okay, so in this case, we are using refresh, right? Now, there's always an example. You can refer to the documentation, but basically, we're doing the exact same thing. So I just type in refresh. That's it. That's all we have to do. And now we are using this magic action. So I'll go back. I'll kind of reload our component. Now, right now, if I keep pressing it, nothing is happening because, well, the data here hasn't changed. So in order to see a change, guys, I have the admin panel open for our blog here, as you can see. And I'm going to select this first post over here. Okay, so this post, you can kind of tell from the thumbnail, it's this one over here. Okay, so I'll just unpublish this one. So it should be removed from the list. I'll just unpublish it. Okay, so it's unpublished on basically in the background. So instead of reloading the application, I'll just click on this reload button we just implemented. And boom, as you guys can see, it is off the list. So basically, that's how you can add a simple refresh button or reload button to your components using this magic refresh action. So that's the first one. The next one I would like to showcase to you guys is $set, right? Now, basically, it basically allows you to set a value for a property without using some sort of wire model or defining a custom method. So let's see how this one works. Now, on the same application, I have these two buttons, as you guys can see, oldest and the latest. And basically what these two buttons do is they allow you to, they set a property of sort on my component. So let me show you guys the PHP file for my component. I have this variable or property of sort, and it has two possible values, descending and ascending, right? So if you click this latest button, it sets sort to descending. And if you click this oldest button, it sets sort to ascending, right? That's basically all it does. And let me show you guys that method as well in case you are interested. It's over here, set sort. It's basically just setting the value of sort, right? Very simple method, nothing complicated about it. But with magic actions, we can actually just delete this. We don't need it anymore, okay? So what I can do over here is, instead of using this method, I can come over here and use the magic action $set, okay? And if you refer to the documentation, the first argument is going to be the property name, and then the second argument is the value you want to set it to. So in this case, I'll say set sort to descending if we click on latest. And then on the second case, on the second button, we use again the set magic action, and we set the sort property to ASC, basically ascending. Okay. And of course, this name, the first property name, has to match a public property on your component. Okay. So something to keep in mind, guys. And that's it. So let's go back. I'll do another reload, and I click on oldest and latest. And again, it still is working just fine as we expected to do. Okay. So just like that, guys. So these are how magic actions work. I'm not going to be covering every single one of them, but basically just refer to the documentation and take a look at it and see if it's something you could potentially use in your application. Now, there is another one known as toggle, and it's kind of similar to set, except it works for booleans. Okay, so it basically sets a boolean field you have from true to false. It's a quick and easy way to toggle the value. So if you have a boolean, you may want to take a look at toggle over here. And then last but not least, the most kind of common one you want to use is probably dispatch, and it allows you to dispatch an event. I believe, again, I have already covered this on the event video, so I'm not going to be covering it. But in terms of functionality, it's exactly the same way as the way you would do it on your PHP component, except you use $dispatch. Okay, so it removes the need to have an extra method. And the last one is event. I personally have never used this. I'm not sure how commonly it is used, but it gives you the JavaScript object in case you need it. I personally have never had to use this. I don't think it's a common use case, but it is available if you guys would like to check it out. So that's it, guys, for today's episode. I hope you learned something new regarding magic actions. The most common one is probably going to be set, refresh, and toggle. These are the three I have personally used the most. You can definitely use the parent as well. This one is very important. I'll definitely have a separate video for child components, and I will cover parent there. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask me in the comment section below. As always, make sure you like the video and subscribe, and I see you guys on the next episode. Have a great day. Bye.